And oh, you're on speaker view, otherwise it will record everybody. And again, it will record you.
Okay. Yeah. Just start. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hello, everybody. Good evening. Okay, we're going to talk about the Vegas trip. A few have messaged me just saying, you know, can you just fill us in with what the costings are and, you know, how important actually is it to go to Vegas for your business? Okay, I was talking to Zoe about this morning. I said, you know, I just want to sort of tell my story to kick off with before we get into the logistics of, you know, how much it costs and what have you. Okay, I started Arbonne in January, and Zoe and Fiona said, you know, it would be really good if you can come to Vegas in the April. So it's only 3 or 4 months on. I thought, oh my goodness, I don't know if I can afford this, and gee, that's a big thing to do. But I did it, you know, and I just went, okay, look, I'm in this business. I'm really here for the long haul. I want to find out everything I can. So I booked in to go to Vegas, and it just blew my mind. It was the most amazing few days I'd had, I think, you know, in my life, actually, because Vegas is an incredible place anyway. Plus, the amazing, you know, leadership, the amazing training, the amazing people I met in Vegas, just, you can't get that anywhere else. So I went to Vegas, put all on my credit card because I didn't have the money, and just thought, I'm going to work this out. I'm going to pay it back at some stage. So we came back from Vegas in April. I immediately did some launches just to tell my friends about the business, because I'd been quite quiet up until then. So Zoe and I think did 5 in my house over a period of 2 weeks, and it was just amazing. We had superstars sign up, and Dua, Candy, load of people. So it accelerated my business beyond my expectations. So the launches were in, you know, came back from Vegas in April, launches were in May. I was in area, became an area manager by July, went into qual in June, became an area manager in July. So, and I put that down to my Vegas trip. It just ignited in me what I needed to know to explode my business. So it's just, you know, it's hard when we're sitting at home in England and it's cold, thinking, how actually is that going to make a difference? And they say magic happens in Vegas. And I thought, yeah, right. But actually it does. And I can't put my finger on it. I don't know how it works, but something amazing just triggers off in your heart and in your head. And then you start to see your business explode. So, yeah, I know a few of you have heard this. You were at the leadership training on yesterday, and you heard it time and time again how important Vegas is. Now, a few of you have messaged me saying, okay, that's great. We're all hearing how great Vegas is, but what is it going to cost? Logistically, how does Vegas happen? So I'm going to tell you, I'll take you through this. Well, I don't know. First of all, you need a visa to America. I'm not sure whether you guys have, you know, going back and forward from the States or not, but if not, you need an ESTA, E-S-T-A. Very simple to do. You just basically put down your home details and where you're going to be in America, and it costs something like $10, which is about £7, and that visa would last you for 2 years. It's quite useful to have a ESTA anyway, but just bear in mind, don't go to America without an ESTA visa. Now, okay, so you've got the visa. Now you have to get on a flight to get there. Now, a few of us have booked flights already. Candy's got one through a travel agent, which I'll give you the details of that in a sec. And Candy's flight has a stopover there and back, and it's coming in at about £680. Okay, so to get to Vegas and back is costing, with a stopover, £680. I've done direct from London to Vegas on a BA flight, and that's coming out at £780. So there's not much in it. Whether you want to save £100 and do a stopover flight, or whether you come direct, it's coming out at about that. Now, rooms, hotel rooms, we've oh yeah, yeah, Malik, our really cool guy that I keep mentioning, is our BA pilot who does Arbonne. He works for BA, as you guys probably know. He's a long haul pilot. Zoe has been contacting him, and he can get a discount for those who are interested. I suggest you sort of private message.
Yeah, he said it doesn't matter on quantity, so you can have anybody out. But he's found a flight that goes out. So the conference is on the 16th to the 18th, and we usually fly out on a Tuesday, which is the 14th. We get in Tuesday evening, so you've got time to settle. You can check in. I think check-in starts about midday on Wednesday, so you get half the day on Wednesday, then you get all day on Thursday to check in. And then the conference finishes Saturday, and we come home Sunday. I like doing it that way, getting down the Tuesday night. I've done that twice. So I've been looking at flights. There's a flight coming out of Gatwick with Virgin 11:30 in the morning on a Tuesday, and it gets into Vegas at 2 in the afternoon. I think there's a slightly later one at 4:30 in the afternoon coming out of Gatwick. So there's a couple of options. The one that Malik's looking at is going out on the Wednesday and coming back on the Monday rather than the Sunday. So you'll be getting there a day later and coming back on the Monday, and that's the one at 6:80 direct there and back. And when we go, it takes us about 2 hours to check into the conference. You imagine the logistics of checking in 14,000 people. So when we went last year, on the Wednesday, we checked in Wednesday afternoon. It takes us 2 hours, and only 4,000 people check in on the Wednesday. Another 10,000 have got to check in on a Thursday, and we're sat by the pool on Thursday going, oh, I'm glad we've done it. We're glad it's done. So we get a whole day by the pool on Thursday, and the conference actually starts at 7 p.m. on Thursday night. So you can fly in on the Wednesday, you can still check in Thursday, so you can go later. So the conference kicks off 7 o'clock at night Thursday, and you have a big launch, big party, and then the days aren't run-packed, so then it's Friday, Saturday, and you finish, I think, a reasonable time on a Friday, kind of 3, 4 o'clock.
Yeah.
I remember last year, one of them was also saying, oh, I thought I'd get a bit more for my money than, it's finished quite early. But the great thing, what you get out of it is not just what you learn in the conference, it's the networking. It's being by the pool, it's meeting the MVPs, the RVPs, it's bonding with your team. So that time, it's like, as Eric Warrior says, it's a destination event, and you gain so much more than just the conference from it as well. So just enjoy that time. Enjoy it, and the sun. So yeah, just add that bit.
Yeah, no.
Flights. Yeah, I mean, some people do want to fly together, and you have to organise yourselves as to which flight, and then you can share lifts down to the airport. You've got the parking to take into consideration as well, airport parking, which you'll need to book, or you can go down by train. But the last time I flew out of London, it was so much more expensive to do the train and park at the train station, and I should have just driven and parked there. So normally I take the car down and just pay for airport parking. And when you fly back, we usually leave on a Sunday, and then because of the time difference, you get back on Monday. So it takes a whole 24 hours to get back into the UK because of the time. So if you left on Monday, you'd be back on Tuesday. Yeah, jet lag's worse on the way back. It's easier on the way there.
It is, definitely.
Just interrupt as well, because Anne and I stayed overnight in a hotel near Heathrow, and the car parking is thrown in. So it was 60 pounds a night.
Yeah, there is the opportunity. We've just heard from Anne and Candy. Last year, they because they had an early flight, they went down and stayed at a hotel in Gatwick, and if the hotel was £65 each or whatever, and it included having your car park. So that's quite a nifty way of doing it if you've got an early flight like that.
I was going to say. Oh, and airport check-in is your normal international check-in, so it's
3 hours. Well, 3 hours now.
So you've got to be in the airport 3 hours. So if you've got 11:30 in the morning flight, then you've got to be there really early. So sometimes it is worth going down that night before. So you have that 3-hour check-in, and it's amazing. You start meeting people. If you fly out Tuesday, when you will meet people in the queue in Arbonne, and they're drinking the protein shakes, they're eating the bars, and we're like, oh, there's Arbonne. You see Arbonne bags everywhere. So you already meet people on the journey, on the flight. There's so many people out. Like, oh yes, so-and-so's up there on row. So walk around the plane and just chat to everybody on the way out.
Yeah, it's fun. The journey starts like it's in the airport in London. But anyway, however way you do it, the flight is coming in at about 680 to 780. So that's the sort of flight price. And if you are flying all that way, because it is a 10-hour flight and you're paying that money, it's worth just having an extra day or two if you can, because it's the whole experience, the Vegas experience. Candy booked hers through a travel agent, called travelrepublic.co.uk, and they have done the whole booking for Candy, so that's flight and room. So that's quite neat. It still doesn't make too much difference in the, you know, if you booked direct to MGM, to the MGM Grand, or gone through the travel agents, it's about the same. But it's quite neat that Candy's got the whole thing in one package. I've done mine separately, but there is a way of doing it, you know, direct like that as Candy's done.
I tend to go separately now, and I'll actually phone
Yeah.
the hotel, the Signature. So it's actually phone after 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And I'll phone the hotel directly and speak to them over there. They love Brits, they love us, so it's great.
Yeah.
They're really helpful, and I love it. So, and I will I like to speak to a human being over the phone, so I tend to book my flights online, but book my hotel over the phone.
You can do that, and I've just had an email back from the MGM because I emailed them to say, can you give me availabilities and prices? You get an email straight back saying, we will be back with you within 48 hours. I've got an email now just going through the prices. Again, they're still coming out about the same. A room you're looking at in pounds per person, but it is sharing a double bed. Candy and I are going to be sleeping together in a double bed, but I'm looking forward to that. That's going to be fine. It's working out about £700 each. So that's the price of the room.
I would just mention, so the conference is held at the MGM Grand Hotel in Las Vegas. If you Google MGM Grand, it's massive. It's one of the big hotels in Vegas. It's where they hold all the boxing matches. And so it's quite famous. It used to have lions in its entrance, real lions. So it has a lion as its mascot. And so it's held there. And then you've got the MGM Signature is its suite hotels. The MGM Signature is where all the suites are. And that's where the MVPs get their free accommodation. So we, like the first year I went, I stayed in the MGM Grand with everybody else. And then last year, because we took the children, we were like, right, we're going to go to the Signature with the MVPs. You never know who I'm going to bump into in the lift. And actually on price, there's not much difference. The difference on the hotel, in the suites, you get a fridge and a cooker and a microwave. So when you've got kids, we went out to Whole Foods, my favourite shop in the world after Arbonne, and we jumped in a taxi, went to Whole Foods and just stocked up on bits for the week. So the kids had breakfast and bits they could eat in the room. And it's non-smoking and there's no casino in the Signature, and it adjoins the MGM, so you jump on an escalator and it takes you all the way into the MGM. So we're not right next door, but the conference itself is in the MGM Grand. So, and then you've got the pool area. There's a pool area in the MGM Grand. If you stay in the Signature, you can use that pool area, which is 4 acres of swimming pools, and it's got a lazy river, and it's incredible. So if you can, I would stay on site, because it means you can use the pool and again be with the team around the pool, which is amazing. But there are other cheaper hotels adjoining, which you would kind of walk across a bridge to get to, and that the cheaper ones are Excalibur is one, which is a castle. It looks a bit like Butlins or Skeggy, but it's fine. If you need cheap and cheerful, then it's an option. That's where you see the men from down under. You can see the male strippers in Excalibur too. If you want to stay there, if you want a hen party out there, I'll go for that one. Or there's New York is another adjoining for cheaper options you can look into. I think they come in about half the price of MGM Grand. So if budget's really tight, you just want to get yourself there, we can try and sneak you into the pool account.
Yeah.
So that's just another option. But so I'll let Helen.
Yeah, and share. I mean, bunking up. We just, you're sharing double beds because you just think that's just going to make it a little bit cheaper. In fact, they're huge, yeah. And the first night I was in Vegas last year, I slept on the floor because we really were bunking up, but that was fine. I just kept asking for more blankets, and they said, "Are you cold?" I went, "Freezing," but actually I wanted the blankets, obviously, to sleep on as a mattress. Yeah, so but anyway, the rooms are coming out about 700 per person for those nights, including
that'll be
Tuesday to Saturday night, leaving on Sunday. Yeah.
So 5 nights.
Yeah. So that's, and what else? And then there's spending money. So everyone just nips onto a cab. Although I just think we probably could walk a bit more than we walked last time. But anyway, cabs are, I don't know. You're probably spending money, and then when you go to because it's fun just going down Vegas Strip and then just going to some of these other crazy hotels. So you stop in there and you have some drinks. I would say spending money, you're probably looking at 150, 200 pounds. So that will get you some drinks. We took our protein shakes with us last year, and that was just great. So that was pretty much breakfast and lunch with protein shake. There are loads of places to eat within the hotel, but we just thought, actually, you know, we've got our own great meal replacements. Why not take those? So that was a good move.
These queues as well.
And
when the conference is in full swing, 14,000 people to eat is a lot of people, and you're queuing for everything. So you just have your protein. So we would have our protein and go out for meals in the evening. So just normal.
Yeah, just one meal a day. Yeah.
And then just try somewhere really cool for evening meals.
Yeah.
Cheesecake Factory, or go to different hotels
and it is cheap to eat in Vegas. It's not, you know, when you're going out, you're not going, wow, these are really high prices. It's not expensive, so that's great. And you know, there's anything from McDonald's through to something, you know, really smart. So that's your choice, but you will need spending money. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Now, I did my flights through a travel agent I use all the time, and I can definitely give you their details if you want to message me if you want to do that. Or you go through Zoe and see what Malik has got, because if he can do that a bit cheaper. Malik's prices, I think it's the same flight actually, because it's a BA leaving in an evening. I've got it for 780. I think Malik's doing it for 680. So that is a saving of £100. But it's so that's the logistics that a few of you guys have asked for. So basically, I don't know if any of you guys are wanting to bring kids in. I know Zoe had both Theo and Jessica there last year, and it worked. There are facilities available, especially for young babies. There's a mother's room, a mother and baby room. I didn't go in it, but Zoe was in it a bit, and you know, breastfeeding, lots of, you know, breasts coming out and milk being fed to babies, and you know, and anyway, and there was a big screen with, you know, so you could see what was actually going on in the big conference hall. So they're really set up for kids. It's great. So don't think, oh no, what can I do with? It's fine. Those at the leadership yesterday, you saw, you know, there were quite a few mothers there with really, really young babies. So don't let that put you off going.
I've had experience with and without children. The first year, Theo was 2 and I was pregnant. So I did lots of begging, and Nana and Grandad had Theo, booked him into nursery in the daytime, and they had him for a week, which is brilliant. So I had the experience without children. And then the year after, so Theo was 3 and Jessica was 8 months old, and we took them both. So Jessica was free to fly. She flew on our knee and crawled around the plane and got told off all the time. And then Theo had his own seat. So Theo was an extra cost on the flight, but not in the room. So we had a suite, he had a sofa bed, Jessica had a cot. And when you're in the arena for the conference, you're seated according to your team rank and your nation. So we're in the McCann Nation, which is one of the biggest teams in the world. She's number 5 in the top income earners. So we get to sit on the floor, like where the boxing ring is. Like, oh yeah, not on the floor, on chairs on the floor, but it's called the floor.
Yeah, it is.
You get the floor, and like you get so when you get there, if you get there early enough, you can be right at the front. And so and it's really convenient. I found with children, because the family room is just outside, so you can nip in and out. So my husband went with me as well, and we would just take it in shifts as to who was in the family room and who was in the main arena. And the Thursday night, the kids were in there dancing, and things were coming out the sky, and the kids were tearing around, picking them all up. And then after that, they were happy playing with other friends, and it was a different experience, but it was great. I connected with other mums in other teams in America, in Australia, in the UK, because I got to chat to them in the family room, and it was video fed in. Some of the things were even video fed to your room in the hotel, which is quite crazy. So it was brilliant. So I really connected with a girl called Laura Popham Ross, who's on our Allen area. And that was because I was in the family room, and her little boy is the same age as Theo. And she's direct to our national vice president, Susan McCannon. So we met her, and the kids went everywhere. They went out with us in the evenings, and they did everything. The only downside, I should have had a double buggy, because the kids needed to sleep. And like Theo would be asleep and I'd be carrying Jessica, and that was the only logistical thing. I should have taken a double buggy rather than a single buggy. But apart from that, yeah, they did everything. They went to the conference. We didn't miss anything. They enjoyed the pool, and they enjoyed the sun, and And then because we went all that way and thought we'd paid for these flights, and my children are so young, they're not at school, we turned it into a 2-week holiday for us. So after Vegas, we hired a car and drove off to San Diego, LA, and flew back from LA. So we turned it into a holiday, and we'll do the same this year. So we'll fly off somewhere else after Vegas. So you can tie in, and your cost of your flights is a business expense. We're like, right, we got over there. It's tax deductible. We might as well make something out of this now.
Yeah, and it's just I don't know, it's really hard to explain the actual experience in the conference at Vegas. You've got the very best people standing up there and speaking. Kay Napier, the CEO, is just amazing, completely awesome, inspiring, committed, focused woman. And they just put everything into making this the very best conference ever, and you just think you're part of it, and there's going to be 15,000 of us all in there, and you just think, wow, it's a really, really big hall. And Vegas and the MGM Grand are totally capable of coping with those sort of numbers. They do it often, but it's an experience that you'll never get anywhere else. You'll never get it in the UK. It's just unbelievable. So on so many levels it works. America's brilliant. Vegas is just like Disney World for adults. And Arbonne is, an Arbonne conference is just mind-blowing, and being together is such good fun. And I don't know if you guys know this, or whether any of you have been to Vegas, but I didn't know it till I went. I thought, how come I've got all this energy at 3 o'clock in the morning? I'm still, really rocking. Someone said, you do know that they pump oxygen into the air conditioning unit to keep you going. I thought, wow, awesome. And so, if we have that and the fizz sticks, forget it. In fact, do we need rooms? And then you just crash on the flight coming home because suddenly there's no oxygen, and but yeah, so it's an experience like no other, which is just, I cannot recommend it enough. I'm just super excited to be going. And it was only because Fiona McCarthy and Zoe really shared their excitement about it that made me go initially, and now I just think I want to do it with everybody else. There's a cost involved, but we're here to promote our business. We're here to grow our Arbonne business, and I just thought, this is all part of me becoming a national vice president. Attending the Vegas conferences is all part of my growth. If I don't do that, I know I'm not completely able to plug into it. But because I'm so committed to this growth, I'm so committed to being an executive national vice president, I'm now committed to doing Vegas every year.
Well, Candy, I just asked Candy if there's anything else for me. It's just, you'll need your sun cream, and it's got to be Arbonne, otherwise the MVPs will kick you out.
But why would you want to use any other than Arbonne? Make
sure you order it in advance. And they do the survival kits again. So Arbonne have a survival kit option, so you have the option to purchase some things that are there waiting for you when you get there. I think it's to get you through the conference. You get ready. I think you get about 4 ready-made protein shakes, antioxidant immunity boosters for your hangover.
No, we have those.
The fizz sticks, and they put hand cream in it. And I think they might put bars, nutrition bars. So this time around, I just took a whole bag of protein in my suitcase and a whole box of bars with me, and just had it there anyway.
That's the best way to do it, I think, because I think you have to pay 30 odd quid or $30 for the survival kit.
You're taking big luggage. You can put in all your cosmetics and stuff. It goes in the hall on the plane, and it's fine to take your protein shake over and stuff.
Yeah.
And have you mentioned the fact that what the fee is?
Yes, that's a good point. Well done, Candy. The final cost involved is the conference fee. Now, if you're a new consultant and you've done 350 QV in your first order in your first month, you get the conference for $99. I'm not a new consultant, although I have done 350 QV. I'm paying the full whack. Now, I've staggered it over 3 months, so I'm doing $69 per month. I've just done one payment. I'll be doing the next one on the 15th of February and then the 15th of March. $69 works out at about £40. So yeah, it's going to be about about £120 for your conference fee.
cheaper.
Well, no, I was going to say if they're brand new, it's 99.
Yeah, in their first month, and then they had to have done an order of 350 GB. So yeah, so don't forget the conference fee. That is important.
What about guests?
Unmute and ask questions.
Yeah. We can ask questions.
Yeah.
Guests are they the same price?
Oh, I don't know.
Don't know.
I can't remember. I think John went to school fully paid up last time. Right, if we unmute everybody, so if you've got any questions that we haven't thought of, you can ask us. Okay. Hello.
Hi.
Hi. I've got a question. I missed how much it was for the package because Madam was talking.
Okay. Yeah. Candy's done
Sorry.
a package.
What do you mean? The room, flights, or conference fee?
Yeah, the room. Well, the room and flights,
Flight
please.
together. Yeah.
Yeah. What's
About 1,100.
yeah one
1,007
oh yeah no 1,153, and that's
Yeah.
flight and a room in the West Wing, which is part of the MGN. It's just slightly smaller rooms. That's what Candy's gone for, and that's through a travel agent called travelrepublic.co.uk. Irene is her name. Telephone number, if anybody wants that, is 020-8974 7200 extension 319, if you want to do it that way. If not, contact the hotel direct, and it's easy to do. They're great. You can just ring through.
I think the MGM signature, we have the smallest there, which is a double bed or king bed, and then you get a double sofa bed, so you could actually go in the signature ways as well. I'm going to get on the phone tonight and book mine. I went to phone this morning and they were still asleep, so I'm phoning them tonight to get that sorted. So that is another option. The more ways you can split it.
Yeah, and it's worth cramming in because you're not in your room for very long, so it's worth cutting costs by doing that.
So what, you join up together and just split the cost between you?
Your room, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to keep it as cheap as possible. I want to go so much, but
Yeah, definitely.
On the floor.
it's literally like
I mean, do you know what? I've even
it's going to
thought
cost me every penny between now and April, literally.
but
If only I had a credit card.
I mean, I was talking to someone today, and I even thought about putting one of those camping blow-up airbeddy things into my suitcase, and then just bring that out and sleep on that. You know? If there was a way of helping someone in, that's what you'd do. I'd do
Yeah,
it.
just sneak in.
Yeah, just sneak in. Absolutely. I'm not sure how West got that in.
And the hotel don't check
Yeah.
on this.
I did sleep on the floor for the first night last year. Yeah. So, any other questions about Vegas? Jane?
I've probably got loads and I can't think now. After you've gone, I'll think, oh, why didn't I ask that?
Well, just message. Just put on Facebook.
Yeah.
What I did want to share was because Nikki Desmond recorded Stuart Armfield talking about why go, which is really seen her. And I wanted to share.
Twice.
Yeah, so that one we'll put that on an area. Yeah, she called him, and he said I think the conference yesterday where the people that have been to Vegas have about 54% increase in their salary that year. Yeah, 54% increase in paycheck. And then Stuart Armfield said his went from £7,000 a month to £11,000 a month.
Whoa.
My zero might go to 54.
I know. The leg in Melton is all down to Vegas last year. And if I hadn't gone to Vegas, so that my Vegas trip has definitely been paid for. We'll be paid for again and again and again. The team is growing.
Yeah, and it's, yes, for your Arbonne business, definitely, but also for self-development. They have external speakers come in just to talk about how we can be the best we can be. And, priceless stuff. If you were paying to speak, to go to some, a conference that one of these external speakers were doing, you'd be paying hundreds and hundreds of pounds. So the development part of the conference is mind-blowing.
Don's out there too. Don Baylor's he's booked a week in Vegas, so he'll be there from the Sunday to Sunday. So he'll be doing some small trainings with us
Oh, awesome.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yes, look what we've done. I think you're in holiday there. So yeah, so he's coming over to do some play sessions with us.
That'll be awesome. Jane, are you going to be taking Katie?
No, I won't be able to. She's here listening. No, I won't be able
Sorry,
to.
Katie.
No, she already knows. I won't be able to afford for both of us to go.
Yeah, because I'd have to go on my own. I won't be able to take the kids, and obviously that's just quite high having to take them. So I'm literally, if I go, it's just going to be me. So I need to bunk up with some people.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Jem, would you be taking Danny and the girls?
No, I won't be able to afford that. I'm just wondering, Candy, your flight and room, 1,153, is that room being shared with someone, or is that the cost of the whole room and the flight?
That was the flight and then the room, but obviously I'm splitting the room with Helen. So half the room,
the flight and half the room cost, that is. Yeah.
I mean, we don't know how. Yeah. We,
Spending money.
yeah, it's 1,500.
Around ballpark figure.
Yeah, conference free, Esther, your flights and accommodation. We are saying about this bunking up. We did it for one night. I'm not sure actually, just how MGN. I'm not sure. So we've got to be careful if we're saying everybody bunks in together. But definitely, obviously, two sharing a bed is totally fine.
I've hotels as well across the road.
I've been to Vegas, and they usually have people like guys like security.
Yeah,
on
I thought they would.
So
Yeah.
you've got to be careful in that way. But if you're all sort of like got a card, as long as you want somebody who's got like a card, it's fine.
Yeah,
you can do it that way.
I'm sure
I
we're-
remember legit.
Yeah, last year Fiona, Carlisle and Jonathan stayed in Excalibur across the road to keep the cost of accommodation down, which if the accommodation's probably half the price, and then they would meet us in the morning. I was in a signature, so we could get into the signature pool and actually snuck a load of these girls into that pool anyway.
I say we did Excalibur as well, but we just did it for like a day because we had like 12 hours to wait. It was like $80, not even that. So,
yeah.
I think there's Circus as well, which is cheap, and I believe Stratosphere is a bit cheaper as well because they're right at the end of the strip.
Yeah, really. Because you want something that's in walking distance, so either Excalibur or New York. New York would be best too. Even Edmonton Grand on its own as a hotel, you'll walk a mile to get from one end to the other. It's massive, 1,000 rooms. It's just massive. You've got a whole casino in the middle. You get lost. It takes you to get your bearings. So you go to the casino and you kind of get lost.
Yeah. Okay, cool. I think we've, run out of questions, but anybody, if you think after this, just Facebook and if we can, we'll answer, Anybody else, or is that it?
Thanks for doing this, though. It's made it a lot clearer. Thank you.
Good. Well, I hope it is. Okay.
Cool. See you
Bye.
later.
Bye. See you then. Bye.
Right.
Bye.